Does the flex and weight of an iron golf shaft really matter? Well, the results will always be player dependent. What you're going to find out is how speed, control, and trajectory can be influenced by the weight and flex of certain golf shafts. Golfers, welcome back to my channel. What happens if you're playing the incorrect golf shaft based on what kind of speed that you generate? Well, we're going to find out whether golf shafts actually matter when it comes down to iron control. I'm willing to bet for most golfers it absolutely does, but results will always be player dependent. And this video is a follow-up from the previous video where I talked about what shaft flex you should be playing based on your club speed. Well, the feedback was awesome from that video. I had a lot of great comments, and I want to read off just a couple of them, and that was why I got into this particular video. So first comment here was, what would the result look like if you swung at one speed, e.g. 80 to 90 miles an hour, with the 5 different flexes? I would like to see how the ball performs with an extra stiff shaft at 85 miles an hour versus 95 miles an hour. Great content. Would have liked to see you swing your normal 90 mile an hour speed with the same golf shaft to show the effects of stiffness in relation to spin and dispersion. Why don't you use the regular swing for each flex shaft? See what effect the shaft has for your constant swing speed, and do that for each speed at each swing. Well, I love these comments. I really appreciate it. Also, let me know what other videos you want to see. Well, for today's video, what we're actually going to do is I am going to hit 10 shots each with each of the 5 different golf shafts I have. I have a Lite Flex 65 gram shaft. I have a regular 75 gram shaft. I also have a regular 94 gram shaft. I have a stiff 104 gram shaft. And then I also have an extra stiff golf shaft that weighs about 125 grams. You would expect, that's a very wide range in weight, that the results will change. But will they? Will I pick up club speed? Probably with a lighter golf shaft, you would expect that. But do I hit it further offline? Well, we're going to find out. Before I do that, please subscribe to this channel and let me know what other videos you want to see. Let's get to the testing phase. Okay, let's describe the testing. I have 5 golf shafts. I have the Mitsubishi MMT 65 R2. That is going to be our Lite Flex golf shaft. I have the NS Pro 750 GH Neo 75 gram regular flex golf shaft. I have the AMT Red R300 in a 7-iron. This weighs 94 grams. I have the AMT Black S300 in a 7-iron. This weighs 107 grams. And then for extra stiff, I have the Project X 6.5 golf shaft, which weighs 125 grams. So no particular order, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do 2 rounds. So I'm going to hit 5 shots with each shaft, and I'm going to be playing the T100 iron for all of them. Just to make it unbiased, I'm going to come back and do another 5. Make sure I'm completely warmed up, even though I'm already warmed up now. And I'm just going to be swinging at my normal club speed. I'm not going to be looking at the results initially, just going to be unbiased, hit some shots, and then we're going to dive deep into the results. All right, so first golf shaft I'm going to start with, I'll maybe start right in the middle. I'll do the AMT Red R300. And that fifth swing there's the first one I feel like I found in the middle of the club face. The other 4 swings I felt like I had some speed, and I was seeing club speed 93, 94 miles an hour, which is a little faster than I'm typically seeing. However, the ball was going about the same, but I feel like my efficiency was down a little bit. I'm gonna find out now. I'm gonna go to a golf shaft that I normally play 125 grams in extra stiff, and just kind of take a look at that club speed here. So let's switch to the Project X 6.5. Naturally, this feels a little heavier when I put it in my hands. Looks like it flew pretty straight for me. So similar speed, just a little bit less, 93. We saw some 94s with the regular Flex. Yeah, instantly I'm noticing less curve on the ball for sure. Hit that one really solid, but the curvature was less, which I like. Just a tiny little draw. Got that a little off the toe. And that was a slight miss, but I'll take that miss all day, any day. I like, once again, only one shot there that curved more than I would have liked. And you can see it a little bit on the dispersion initially. Okay, so that felt more comfortable because that's a similar weighted golf shaft that I typically play. The club speed, it really didn't change. It was a tiny little bit slower than the R300 golf shaft. Now, if we go to the other extreme, I would assume I probably might see a little bit more speed, but let's find out. So this golf shaft being 65 grams, we're talking that this is about 55 grams lighter than the previous shaft. Let's see what happens to speed and dispersion. Still pretty straight. Almost hold it. That was pretty impressive going to a lighter golf shaft. I didn't hit it quite as solid. You'll notice my efficiency was down, but the ball ended up where I wanted it to go. Much faster speed, 95 miles an hour, but not as much ball speed. Interesting. Maybe a touch of forgiveness there. Got 95.6 club speed. Pretty good. So maybe I could play a Lite Flex golf shaft. That's the fastest ball speed I've seen yet. 130, 96 club speed. .95 mile an hour club speed. Pretty good swing. And remember, this is the exact same club head, so nothing's changed with regards to loft. The only thing that's changing is the golf shaft. Ooh, did not like that. That was, ball went farther, but it went farther offline. I just felt like my sequence was just off a little bit. I didn't feel like I was going to miss the green by that much. Very interesting. All right, made up for it on that one. Pretty good swing. Yeah, definitely flying further. But I will say, shot 4 scares me. Consistency is key. Yes, the other 4 were pretty good, but I just got a little bit off with my sequence with that lighter golf shaft, and you could see just how much further off that went offline. So the lighter golf shaft did generate more speed, but my misses were not great. Okay, so now let's go back to a stiff golf shaft. Definitely feel like I can control feel the face a little bit when I made that practice swing. Going to the stiff AMT Black shaft. And maybe it's just a little bit of an adjustment going back to a heavier shaft. I don't feel like that one quite as good. My speed was a little slower, but that was definitely a miss hit, but the miss hit went straight. I think that's the important thing to remember. The miss hit went straight. Oh, that felt so much better. I'm just used to it. Just used to it. That one was a solid strike. So yeah, club speed, not quite as high, ball speed, not quite as high, but I found the middle of the face a little better. 94.7 club speed. And this is actually really interesting. So going from that much lighter golf shaft, I started worrying about going left. And now what I'm noticing here when I go instantly back to a much heavier, stiffer shaft, notice the face. It's harder for me to get that face to turn over. So I find that quite interesting. They felt like good swings, but they just didn't turn over for me. Same thing, felt like a really good swing. 93.9 club speed. So a little slower, still pretty similar distance, but finding the middle of the face, just not quite turning over. And I'm seeing it here, 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row, versus those red dots with that Lite Flex shaft that were more left. All right, so that was a little bit more turnover. All right, 94.4. So I would say I probably lost a mile and a half more, less club speed with going back to a steel heavier shaft versus that graphite Lite Flex shaft. Okay, finally, we've got that lightweight regular 75 gram 750 Neo golf shaft to hit. This is an interesting one. Can't believe this is a steel golf shaft. 75 grams. Felt like I hit it nice and solid. And instantly back up to speed, 96 miles an hour. So we definitely would agree on that the lighter the golf shaft, the more speed you're generally gonna get out of your golf swing. Definitely noticing that trend. Felt good. 95.5. Just hit it too good. I have that hole set at 185 yards, and that one carried over that, 189 carry. Same thing, 95.5 on the club speed. .5 club speed. Yeah, that thing is flying. This is a great golf shaft. This is for a steel golf shaft, this is pretty good. You want a little bit more speed. Oh, left the face a little open on that one. It's the same thing, just my sequence just felt a touch more off. And I think it's this shaft just has a hard time just to get back to square because it's a little lighter and a little more flexible. Okay, so we're noticing a little bit more speed. Once again, going to a lighter golf shaft. Dispersion, first 3 or 4 swings weren't bad. One miss, once again. We're noticing here the furthest to the right miss came with the very lightweight regular shaft. The furthest to the left miss came from the very lightweight Lite Flex golf shaft. So my misses were bigger with the lighter golf shafts. The heavier, more stiffer golf shafts flew straighter. Okay, so that's 5 shots with each. I'm gonna now hit 5 more, and then we're gonna look at all the data, 10 shots with each, and just draw some conclusions. To begin summarizing what I notice the most and what I place an importance in when I'm fitting, but also when I'm playing, is dispersion. And what I noticed was the straightest 2 golf shafts were the 2 heaviest and also stiffest golf shaft. So the AMT Black golf shaft S300 offline 0.0 on average, and the Project X 6.5 golf shaft, just a little bit heavier, it was 1.1 yard offline to the right. Everything else had a larger dispersion pattern, and we're going to talk about that. I'm going to turn around, and what you'll notice up on the top right is Project X 6.5, the dark blue circle. It may not have been the longest, but at the end of the day, it was the smallest circle and it was the straightest. So that's why it's important to play a golf shaft that kind of matches what kind of speed that you generate. And I generate a decent amount of speed at about 93 miles an hour. I'm able to control the club face better. What you'll also notice, if we go at the other end of the spectrum, the MMT 65 R2 golf shaft, that circle, that red circle, was the largest, and it was favoring being further to the left. Very interesting stuff. Now, I may have got the fastest ball speed out of that, and also the most distance. We're talking, it was carrying 10 yards longer than the Project X 6.5, but I'll take my 180 carry that I know that I'm going to do every single time, nice and straight, rather than trying to get a little extra juice out of a 7-iron. They're still a scoring club for me. So very interesting there. And you can see the other interesting part here is the NS Pro 750 GH. It was also a lighter golf shaft. Dispersion was a challenge for me. I left a couple open to the right with that one. Once again, it was the second longest. Makes sense. It's maybe not quite as light as the graphite shaft, but what you'll notice is my misses were just a little bit further to the right. And the AMT Red R300 actually wasn't too bad. You'll notice it's kind of tucked in the middle there. It was just carrying a little bit further. So definitely really important stuff to look at. Dispersion is obviously very, very important. Now, if we're breaking down these numbers, ball speed numbers, before we look at the club speed stuff, definitely kind of noticing that we're getting up to 5 miles an hour more ball speed out of the lighter golf shaft because I was creating more potential distance with more club speed. So I was able to generate more efficiency essentially. So 129.8, 129.4 with the NS Pro 750, 126.8 AMT Red, 127.3 AMT Black, 124.3. However, consistency is important. I know it's going to carry 180, and that's the number I play my 7-iron. That's very, very important stuff to look at. The only thing you'll notice there, other than all the distances, is launch angle, MMT 65 R2, launching it a little lower. Now that's club face. That's because my club face was obviously a little more closed, harder to control as I was going there towards the left. Club data now. So, head speed. I picked up 2.2 miles an hour more club speed from the heaviest, most stiffest shaft to the lightest, most flexible shaft. And what you'll notice is actually I hit it 10 yards further. That's because the ball flight trajectory is going a little more left. Left is usually longer. And then you can kind of see in between, did this go in a pattern? Let's see. From lightest to heaviest, from fastest to slowest. Pretty close, 95.7, 96.0 in the 265, 75 gram shafts, 94.2, 94.4, so we lost about 1.5 miles of club speed with the 94 gram, 107 gram regular and stiff shafts, and then 93.5 on the head speed with the 125 gram Project X 6.5 shaft. So we saw a trend there. Well, what I kind of noticed is interesting is efficiency was actually 1.33, which is tour average, believe it or not, for a 7-iron. And that is, once again, dispersion placed. If the face is more closed, you're going to get a lower launch angle, less loft presented, and a little higher efficiency. And I'm going to say that right now because you'll notice if you look at the face impact with the Project X 6.5, dark blue, AMT Black, in the orange there, those are the two heavier shafts. You notice I was hitting it a little closer to the club face. All the others were just a little bit more towards the toe side. Dynamic loft, as I mentioned, yes. So seeing a little less dynamic loft there with the MMT 65. Face was closing as we're coming through. Yeah, and this is really cool stuff. You'll see attack angle. This is my golf swing. My club path's about 2 to 3 degrees in and out. Play a little draw, and you can see attack angle didn't change. The only thing that changed here today was the golf shaft, and we were testing them with the same speed as requested by the viewers. I think this is a great video. It's really important to remember, always going to be player dependent. Okay, next question for you. What video do you want to see next? Let me know in the comments, and also subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.